What's going on, y'all? It's Chuck. Thanks for being here for another BAK Jay tutorial. So without further ado, let's dive into the beat preview. See you back on the flip side.
Chuck, what is you doing?
Let's dive right into the melody. Here we have the obligatory low brass playing the Phrygian notes, as you can see, half steps, a lot of tension, yada yada yada. And so this bounce kind of happens at in the second half of the second bar, and it's a classic bounce that you'll hear everywhere. So moving on, we have our Celeste. I don't know what a fucking Celeste is, but it sounds great in this context. So got it from Keyscape, Viber Retro. Yeah, sounds nice. And sauced it up a little bit with, what do we have here? Echo Boy and some compression to just even things out. And Fruity Balance for automation, which we'll talk about later. So let's hear that Celeste by itself. So, you know, again, using the Phrygian notes, power chords here, and just kind of bouncing on the offbeat there. And then, you know, kind of speeding it up as we get to the end of the bar, and it just repeats. So, you know, very hypnotic, if I may say so. Next, to take up more space, we have our violin, just a one-shot. And so one of my favorite things to do with one-shots is to mess with the envelopes. So we have our pitch envelope here. You see the LFO panel over here. Turn up a tiny bit of amount, so it adds a warbling vibrato effect at 3%, and then delay that, add some attack, set the tempo to global. I think that makes a difference. And it adds, you know, kind of a cool fluttering effect to your one shot, spices it up a little bit. So let's hear it in context, or hear it by itself. Those are just power chords. And again, you know, takes up space, adds a great atmosphere to it. And then we have this bass, only using the intro. Let's see what's going on here. Just a good sounding bass. So there, that pattern adds a little bit of tension for our intro, which we'll get to later. But let's move on to, this is the chorus section, where we have just about all the instruments playing. So this is the lead, again, a one-shot. Shout out to Loop Legend, he makes great one-shot stuff. Nothing going on with the pitch envelope here. It's just a, you know, really cool sounding one-shot. And if you look at the MIDI, though, definitely an unorthodox set of strategies going on here. So we kind of roll into this Phrygian note here, and then we go to the seventh. So the seventh has a little bit of character to the phrase and kind of contrasts with what we have there, and then a slide note to end the bar. So let's hear it. So yeah, just exciting, you know, unorthodox pattern that kind of happy I, you know, broke outside of the boundaries and experimented with that stuff. So don't be afraid to kind of do wacky stuff with your MIDI and just see how it sounds. You can always throw it out later and no one will ever see it. Here is the second half of the verse section. We add this string pattern in, staccato, just playing, you know, on the Phrygian notes, I guess. third. You know, and kind of a little bit of extra bounce against the low brass. So moving on from the loop, we have our main arrangement, as you can kind of guess or see or interpret. Intro right here, bars 1 through 9, marker 2, first hook, marker 3, that is our verse section, and then marker 4, back to the chorus, and just repeat from there. So as kind of mentioned, bring the lead for the hook, bring in that second staccato strings for the verse, and then bring everything back in on the hook. And that's just a ghost note to get rid of the bass. But let's hear it from the start. One thing you'll notice down here, again, is the automation. So we bring in that Celeste slowly during the intro, open up a high pass filter, or low pass filter, excuse me, as we get through the intro, and then kind of going into the drop. You know, I like designing interesting drops, but you know, you're not fucking Tiesto. You don't need to do anything crazy as far as the drop goes. Just a couple little bit of experimentation and creativity goes a long way in this regard. So I used Looperator to add a little bit of stutters, bring it back to the bar 9 here on 13. So let's hear it all together.
What is you doing?
Kind of left the first half of that. Love that rim. Here's our verse section. Counter snare. Kind of just going over the drums for a quick minute. We have a snap in place of the clap, standard pattern, and you know, adds, kind of opens up a lot of space within the beat, which is, you know, kind of a characteristic of these beats, just based on what I've heard. And another cool thing about this verse section is I'll layer this snare over the 808 hits, and it adds, you know, quite a bit of urgency. Just here it comes. So, you know, just don't be afraid to do something, again, unorthodox in these style of beats. And, you know, little velocity rolls there on that snare, just kind of increase the tension. And then, you know, similar thing going on as the intro, but, you know, just kind of chopped up the pattern on the playlist, to add some tension as we go into the drop. Let's hear it again. So yeah, cool experimentation there. Again, left this first hook open, and then bring everything in there. And then when the second hook comes back in, we go with everything. Added a bell in the chorus. You know, you can't go wrong with that Southside bell. It's pretty fucking iconic. So there you have it. That is Righteous Kill, which is, I guess, the title of a Robert De Niro movie. Yeah, thanks for being here, and thanks for sharing your beat making journey with me. If you have any comments on the beat, any ideas for future videos, let me know. Appreciate your time. Thanks.